You know, there are a whole lot of awfully clever people expending billions and billions of brain cells. Try and make these things right here a thing of the past. Take, for instance, one young Canadian inventor. On a trip to China when he was 16 years old, he witnessed some of the worst traffic congestion that he's ever seen in his life.
There's some stat like 20,000 cars are hitting Chinese roadways every day. And I thought, you know, there's got to be a greener alternative.
So he's trying to invent a vehicle that could take thousands and thousands of cars off the road, and get this, it's 100% emissions-free.
It's called the Uno. You can bomb around on it as a motorcycle or use it as a go-anywhere super compact personal transporter, like, say, a Segway.
It feels like I'm floating on air.
It is the first invention ever to be able to do both.
The inventor's name is Ben Gulak.
And he's the ripe old age of 22.
You were a tough kid in high school, were you?
I was in trouble a lot.
Yeah.
Think pollution, and most people think cars. But motorcycles can actually be worse. Many are not outfitted with heavy emission control devices, like catalytic converters. So they're releasing 10 times the amount of pollutants per kilometer compared to four-wheelers. And that's where Ben Gulak comes in.
It was all about trying to create an electric alternative to inspire people that being green could be cool.
Ben has built an all-electric bike he hopes will replace the millions of carbon spewers out there. It's obviously not a new idea, but the vehicle this young Canadian cooked up has a new twist. The Uno is a small, lightweight, fast, and funky affordable bike made for the young urbanite. In motorcycle mode, it has a current top speed of 61 kilometers an hour. As a personal transporter, it can zoom around everywhere a motorcycle can't, and as an added bonus, it can be stored almost anywhere. Needless to say, the world has taken notice. Ben has received enough investment to found his own company, BPG Motors. I visited him in his office in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
So this is it.
This is BPG Motors? Oh my God!
This is the Uno.
I'm trying to look around, but I can't take my eyes off that thing. Okay, Ben, let me give you my first impressions as just a regular guy on the street. Love the color.
Thank you.
Love the Uno orange. The wheel, the retractable wheel, it's ready to spring out and put me into motorcycle mode.
The front one doesn't just go forward. The other two wheels pull back and then
they
roll
get
in
closer together.
So
Right.
it looks like one rear tire. The idea was we weren't supposed to create a new kind of vehicle. We wanted it to represent more the evolution for motorcycles, what the electric version of a bike might look like. So you have a very user-friendly and familiar control systems that bikers are used to.
Nice. But what about the stand the Uno sits on? Something tells me it's not decorative.
So if there wasn't the stand, you'd tip over if you're
It would
sitting
tip
on
over right now.
Right.
So it can't balance till it gets switched on. I get it.
Can I sit on it while it's off?
Yeah, we can. You can sit on it.
Can I? It's just like mounting a normal motorcycle?
Yep.
Okay.
Feels good. But how did Ben end up in Cambridge, attending MIT and backed by venture capital, building what could be a revolutionary invention? To answer that, we have to go back a decade and travel north to Oakville, Ontario.
So, when you were like a teenager growing up here, what'd you do for kicks? What was a Friday night like?
Honestly, Friday nights are usually me down in the basement working on my projects when I was in high school.
You were that kid?
I was that kid, I know.
Ben's grandfather, affectionately known as Opa, was a design engineer who put the science bug in his grandson's ear at a tender young age.
So this is the shop.
So Opa was pretty serious, right? Huh? He was like a serious engineer.
Yeah. He loved engineering, it was his passion. So I always grew up, doing projects with him. When I'd come down here, we'd build things together. So he wanted me to be an engineer.
Opa died when Ben was 14, leaving him the workshop in his will. That same year, Ben based his high school science fair project on magnetic levitating trains, like the kind found in China.
I remember telling the judges that you just need a really good suspension system, and basically this giant hammer will come and hit the train from behind.
It'll go forever.
And you don't need all these electronics, and the thing would never in a million years work.
Giant hammer?
A giant,
Like
some sort
Thor's
of,
hammer?
some sort of like thing to hit it around the track.
Whatever its flaws, Ben's train caught the attention of this guy, Rennie Barlow, Executive Director of Youth Science Canada. He put Ben on a select team and took him to that year's International Science Fair.
We're selecting 8 kids to represent the country.
8 in all of Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
What was your first impressions of Ben?
I guess my first impression was there was kind of this brilliant kid who was a little scattered. He always looked like he had just run in, you know? Yeah, a little bit like that.
Over the next 2 years, Ben built 3 different versions of this train before moving on to something completely different: a self-balancing military surveillance robot.
So this is actually my 3rd science fair project. You could put it through ductwork or send it out into the disaster zone.
It'd have a camera.
It has a camera in there. It has a little gyro to keep it stable.
Yeah.
Whichever way the wheel turns, it drives.
You were how old when you came up with this one?
16.
That same year, Ben went on a family trip to China. It was there he had an epiphany that led to the Uno.
So I thought for my science fair, okay, I want to do some sort of green vehicle. I'd love motorcycles. The Segway had been out for a while. That technology is really cool. It just was packaged really, really badly. I mean, you can't help but look like a dork on it.
Like I was standing on a giant lawnmower.
Yeah, and I thought, well, what if you mix the cool technology with something that is inherently a cool vehicle, motorcycles, and make like a really sexy looking electric alternative.
He's got cool covered all right, at least as far as looks go. But right now, I want to find out how this baby rides. So we're joined by Andrew and Danon, the 2 head engineers on the Uno project.
Have you ridden this before?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. How's it different than riding a street bike?
Since you have the 2 wheels side by side, the idea is that you can turn a lot tighter than a regular bike would be able to, and that you don't have to put your feet down at a stop sign. You can just kind of sit on the bike, hover, eat a pizza.
So any other tips about riding it? Anything I might need to know right off the top?
Let's just take it easy at first, and we'll kind of play it by ear.
Remember,
away.
it's off right now, so it won't balance.
It's not turned on. I still got my training wheels on. It's all set, ready to go?
Not yet. First, you got to get it up off the stand.
Oh, I've got to get it off the stand on
gotta
my
get
own.
off the
So
stand
just
on
lean
your
back.
own. Grab hold of it.
All right, now that breaker right there in front of you, flip that firmly down to the side. Yep.
Wait.
No, I got it. I know you guys are scared, but I'm fine.
Let me just steady it here, just so you can. You should be able to get your feet right up there off the ground.
You got it, right?
Got it.
Holy moly, I'm in the air. Andrew.
Lean forward a little bit so you're comfortable. So now if I let go here, you are now balanced.
It feels like I'm floating on air.
Try, give it a bounce up and down in the seat just a little bit. What do you think? You can hear the humming from the motors,
Yes,
let you know
I
that
can.
the bike's working.
How do I look?
A little silly.
No, come on.
You look great.
That's not what I was looking for. All right, so throttle forward.
Sure, let's walk and talk.
All right. Are you kidding me? I'm going forward. This is so much fun. It's crazy. You know what? I'm fighting the urge now to go really fast.
We'll take it 1 mile an hour at a time.
It is surprisingly responsive, isn't it? This is really quite amazing. Like, as soon as you start to trust it, it sort of trusts you, and it does all the work. At first, when I got on it, I noticed my back was a bit stiff, you know, like my arms felt stiff, and I was doing too much of the work. You can just use the subtle motion of your own body. It's not even like you have to be a balanced superstar to do this.
Right.
I'm digging this so much, I've almost forgotten that there's a whole other way to drive the Uno. We'll get to that soon enough.